U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry is in Korea. He agrees with Korea's foreign minister that inter-Korean family reunions shouldn't be paired with other political issues. Suspicious activity is being observed at a North Korea nuclear test site, but no indication of an impending nuclear test. And champion figure skater Kim Yeon-ah held her first practice session since arriving in Sochi for the Winter Olympics. Hello and welcome to News Today on KBS World. It's Friday, February 14th. I'm Luke Clary. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry is in Korea to talk North Korea and other issues. America's top diplomat met with South Korean Foreign Minister Byung-se and agreed reunions of separated families cannot be linked to joint military exercises.
A meeting of South Korean and American foreign ministers took place only a day after the inter-Korean high-ranking officials' contact that failed to yield any results. The two officials made it clear that the reunion of separated families and the joint military exercise are two different issues.
It is appropriate to link humanitarian issues such as reunification with any other issue.
South Korea refuted North Korea's claim at the latest inter-Korean contact that the North's nuclear program is not an issue to be discussed between the two Koreas.
이 한민족 전체의 안위에 관련된 문제이기 때문에 또 남북한 간에 반드시 논의돼야 될 그런 문제이기도 합니다.
We are not engaged in back-channel efforts to have face-to-face talks or bilateral talks. We are committed to a process.
Earlier in the day, Secretary Kerry met with President Park Geun-hye and conferred for an hour and 40 minutes that lasted an hour beyond the original schedule. Having concluded his two-day visit, Secretary Kerry left Korea this morning for China.
North Korea seems to be speeding up its tunneling operation at the underground nuclear test site in Byung-se, North Hamgyong province. However, still no signs of an impending nuclear test.
These are satellite images of the West Tunnel at the Byung-se nuclear test site. North Korea had started tunneling in May of last year. The recent image shows that the amount of spoil from the excavation of a new tunnel has doubled in just 1 month since last December. The soil has even spilled over to the access road. 38 North, an American blog specializing in North Korea, reported that it is hard to determine how big the soil mound is from the satellite photos. But it estimates that about a kilometer of a tunnel 2 meters wide and 2 meters high has been excavated. However, 38 North said that North Korea already has 2 completed tunnels to the south of the photographed site, so it is unclear whether the new West Tunnel would become the site of North Korea's 4th nuclear test. American analysts at 38 North have also said that South Korean Defense Minister Kim Kwon-jin's assessment that North Korea has already completed its preparation for the 4th nuclear test seems accurate. Judging from North Korea's past actions, the regime can get ready for a nuclear test in just a month or two once Pyongyang decides to go through with it. However, just from looking at the satellite images, there are no signs of an impending nuclear test, such as camouflage nettings or vehicular movements. North Korea experts in the U.S. say that given the presence of more tunnels, the North may be capable of conducting multiple nuclear tests in a short period of time.
Medical tourism has drawn the spotlight for attracting scores of foreign patients to Korea. However, a recent survey shows there's still work to do to develop this sector to its fullest.
This foreign patient is undergoing a health checkup. She came to Korea to receive health care services and see the country as well.
Недорого, и то, что можно как раз и во время обследования посетить как раз хорошие, интересные места.
The number of medical tourists in Korea surged from about 60,000 in 2009 to some 155,000 in 2012, soaring 37% annually. The amount of their spending in Korea is 70% higher than that of regular tourists. About 88% of them don't have any serious ailments and therefore can travel around Korea like any other tourists.
병이 별로 없더라도 와서 일단 검진 한번 받고 또 자기 몸을 관리하는 차원에서 있을 수 있고 거기에 이제 중간중간 이제 관광도 하고.
A survey showed that in addition to healthcare, medical tourists preferred such activities as shopping, sightseeing, and relaxation. But the survey also revealed that information on traveling and tourism items linked to medical tourism were in short supply. Developing items and programs linked to medical tourism is essential in order to ensure the prosperity of Korea's tourism sector.
The Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism has embarked on an effort to transform underused facilities into cultural complexes for local residents. The ministry has notified the president of this new initiative.
When you enter this underground passageway, you can hear beautiful music playing. The old shabby passageway was recently remade into an artistic space for local residents. The project cost just 1/10 of the amount that would be required should a brand new building be constructed from scratch.
정신적인 스트레스가 해소가 되니까 일단 이제 웃음이 많아지고 마음이 이제 즐거워지죠.
And this place used to be a waterworks facility, but now locals can use the space to rehearse their theater plays. The Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism is poised to provide residents with more access to cultural facilities by renovating old structures. In its report to the president, the ministry said it would invest over $11 million this year in the transformation of 20 unused facilities into cultural complexes.
생활 속에서 문화를 더 체감할 수 있는 그런 어떤 현장형 문화 정책에 저희가 집중을 좀 하겠다.
This month, the ministry will set up a center to promote humanities and implement a new system for evaluating cultural influence. It will also promote Korean culture overseas by publicizing the Korean alphabet Hangul, the folk song Arirang, and the martial art Taekwondo.
The world's largest ready-to-assemble furniture company, IKEA of Sweden, is ready to enter the Korean market. Its presence in the Seoul metropolitan area is, however, expected to cause friction with the local furniture market.
The construction of Korea's first IKEA outlet is in full swing. It is due to open at the end of this year. This is the largest IKEA store in Asia, measuring 256,000 square meters in area, about the size of 2 large supermarkets. This is Wonheung Zone in Goyang, Gyeonggi Province. IKEA has already purchased a 51,000 square meter lot to build its second store in Korea. And the plan for the third store is underway in the Kodok Business Complex in southeastern Seoul. Local furniture makers claim that their livelihood is at stake. The Gyeonggi Provincial Assembly has recently passed a resolution urging IKEA to cancel its land purchase in the Wonheung area, but the resolution is not legally binding. Mutually beneficial measures such as setting up a PR center for local furniture makers inside IKEA outlets are being discussed. However, since two sides are wide apart in their opinions, any compromise between IKEA and Korean furniture companies appear very unlikely.
대화가 진행 중이고요. 관련돼서는 아직 논의가 마무리된 것이 아니기 때문에 얘기를 할 만한 내용은 아직 없습니다.
The Korean furniture market is $6.6 billion at most, and 70% of the local furniture makers are small in size. Their concerns over the invasion of global furniture giants seem well-grounded.
Many people associate today's date, February 14th, with Valentine's Day, but it also corresponds with a tragic event in Korean history. Here's more.
The chocolate section at this department store in Seoul is packed with customers buying gifts for their loved ones. But in Korea, February 14th is not just Valentine's Day. This video clip was in the spotlight when it was posted on the internet 2 years ago. The video says that 104 years ago, on February 14th, Japan sentenced Korean independence activist An Jung-geun to death. Similar announcements were published in newspapers. People rushed to the An Jung-geun Memorial Hall to pay their respects to the man who fought for their country's independence. A growing number of schools teach their students about the meaning of this tragic day.
2월 14일은 저뿐만 아니라 다른 학생들도 발렌타인데이라고만 생각했을 텐데 이번 수업을 통해서 2월 14일은 안중근 의사에 대해서 중요한 날이라고 생각했습니다.
An sacrificed his life for his home country, but it was only recently that Koreans began to mark February 14th as a tragic day in the history of Korea.
On the first full moon of the lunar year, Koreans traditionally eat rice with 5 different grains and seasoned herbs. These foods are known for their health effects, preventing diabetes, aging, and even cancer.
These are grains of various color: white, yellow, red, and black. They include glutinous rice, regular rice, millet, sorghum, red azuki beans, and regular beans. The 5 ingredients make the famous 5-grain cooked rice Koreans eat on the first full moon day of the year. The rice, accompanied by seasoned herbs such as bracken and dried radish leaves, completes a wholesome, healthy meal rich in dietary fiber and minerals.
평소에는 콩밥 정도만 먹는 편인데 이렇게 여러 가지 잡곡을 넣은 오곡밥을 먹게 되니까 건강해지는 느낌이 들고.
According to a study by the Rural Development Administration, sorghum helps slow the absorption of glucose in our blood and prevent diabetes. The extracts of sorghum are also found to kill 77% of cancer cells. Millet, meanwhile, is packed with minerals and vitamins, while red azuki beans are high in dietary fiber and potassium. Glutinous rice is warm food in nature and thus good for our digestive organs.
오곡밥에는 쌀밥에 비해서 무기질 함량은 2배, 식이섬유는 5배, 단백질은 2배, 그리고 빈혈 예방에 좋은 엽산은 약 20배까지 높습니다.
Nuts such as peanuts and walnuts, also a treat on full moon day, are abundant with antioxidant vitamin E and therefore helps prevent aging. The administration will develop an application on health recipes to promote the health effects on rice, beans, and other grains.
Figure skater Kim Yuna held her first practice session since arriving in Sochi for the Winter Olympics. Under the media spotlight, she showcased her best for the world to see.
Kim Yuna arrived at the skating rink an hour before her scheduled time to officially practice. She was in high spirits as she chatted with the younger skaters. When she first stepped out onto the ice, she hesitated somewhat in her steps and jumps, but she quickly adjusted. Later during practice, she pulled off 3 consecutive jumps. She performed to Send in the Clowns, the music for a short program. She took breaks in between, but she executed all 7 of her techniques. It was a satisfactory session.
후반에는 적응이 좀 돼서 한국에서 했던 것처럼 훈련을 좀 더 열심히 했습니다.
To watch her train, reporters from Japan, the US, and Russia crowded the rink. They were impressed by what Kim delivered.
Just traveled all the way from Korea. She skated really, really well. She landed most of her jumps, and it's pretty amazing.
She'll move on to a more strenuous training as she is aiming to win her 2nd straight gold at the Winter Games.
Libraries around the country are striving to attract more visitors with some unique and interesting strategies. Here's what they're up to. This traditional-style house in a downtown area has a special yard where children can play traditional games. It's a Hanok-style library with the classical features of Korean traditional houses. Visitors can read here on a heated floor, but you have to take your shoes off before entering the facility. This unconventional library offers a cozy and relaxing ambiance where visitors can feel at ease. You can hear the voices of children enjoying reading here. Another charm of this place lies in traditional cultural programs offered to visitors. So in addition to reading, young visitors can also learn about traditional culture.
책만 꼭 읽고 공부하는 것보다는 옛 선조들어 놀이 문화도 배우고 또 때에 따라서 이래 한자 다지기로 해서 한자 공부도 할 수 있는 그런 기회가 있고.
이렇게 한옥에 와서 이렇게 해보니까 진짜 옛날에 살아본 것 같고 재밌어요.
And in this library, everyone looks happy. Both children and adults are engrossed in books. They're reading comic books. This library has thousands of comic books. They also include comics in English for foreign visitors. This library has a special section dedicated to professional publications about comics. Its main visitors are students majoring in animation films.
조용하게 즐길 수 있는 거. 돈도 안 들고.
On the second level of the library, you can watch popular cartoons and even rare animation films. This section is popular among people of various age groups.
본인들만 보면은 재미없다고 그럴 건데 같이 보니까 더 좋다고 하네요. 예. 오랜만에 보니까 옛날 추억도 떠오르고요. 좋네요.
Another unique library is located in an art park in the city of Anyang. It has an unusual decor. The furniture here catches the eye first. From the large sofa to chairs and shelves, everything is made of corrugated cardboard. It's strong enough to last as long as 5 years. It's very lightweight and has a soundproofing effect. This eco-friendly library opened in October last year as part of a public art project. It deals with professional books on architecture, urban design, and sculpture. You can also see the blueprints of public artworks installed in the park and materials on their production. Unique libraries bring the joy of reading a step closer to the public. Now we'll take a look at the markets, followed by the world weather. And that's it for this edition of News Today. We'll see you again on Monday. Have a great weekend.